Knights at the Round Table, a round table discussion on speculative fiction books and film. Hi everybody and welcome to the next episode of Knights at the Round Table. Today we are discussing the 1989 fantasy comedy called Erik the Viking. I'm sitting at the table here with Nathan, and I'd like to start with general impressions of the film. Nathan?
This movie had some good bits.
That's about what you can say of it.
It has some very perplexing choices. And it had Terry Jones in a very good bit. So, Terry Jones is always funny. So is John Cleese.
John Cleese, yes.
He was just brilliant.
Yeah. So for myself, this is sort of exactly the kind of movie that I would expect Terry Jones and John Cleese to come up with.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, God. So yes, some interesting choices. Some of it made me laugh, and then some of it was weirdly pertinent politically.
Oh my God, right?
Holy crap! I watched that whole...
I first watched that movie like 15 years ago, and I was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then I rewatched it, and I was like,
holy crap!
When was this written? 30 years ago? What?
Remarkably prescient.
Really?
Holy
crap.
mackerel.
That bit with like the sinking continent?
Nothing's happening.
Nothing's
this isn't happening.
But father, you're being submerged. Everybody is underwater. No, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Just like, oh my God. How apt.
Yeah.
Okay, although I also liked that it was the Vikings responsible for the sinking of Atlantis.
And they were all very happy and joyful before they came around.
Well, yes. Terrible singers, though.
Terrible singers. Terrible singers.
They're just not a musical nation. Oh, God.
No.
Oh. Okay, so... where would you like to start with this one?
I don't even know where to start. There's so many in both columns.
It's that kind of movie.
Indeed.
So like many movies of the many period pieces of the late 80s, early 90s, it starts off with a village on fire.
Yeah.
Leave us alone, Mel Brooks!
Don't at us.
Yeah, really. An attempted sort of botched rape that turns into an accidental murder.
Yeah, the women don't do well in this film.
They really don't. I mean, not really a surprise.
No. They didn't do so well back then.
No.
The 70s, 80s, and 90s were a hard time for women.
They really were.
In film? Well, in general.
They really were. Well, yeah, that's that.
Especially in film.
Especially in film, yeah. I don't know what to make of this movie. There were some bits that made me laugh, and then the sinking of Atlantis made me... It blew my mind.
It was my favorite scene.
Oh,
that was my favorite scene by far.
Yes.
Yeah.
It blew my mind with how relevant it is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the ending left me going, what? Wait.
I watched it yesterday and I still can't remember the ending.
Well, they all make it back to the village, even the ones who were dead.
Right.
And they're suddenly alive.
Right.
For some reason.
And then John Cleese is there.
John Cleese gets squished by the boat carrying the preacher.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, that priest was one of my favorite characters.
There is no dragon while the dragon is devouring the boat.
Oh, you silly superstition. But then it turns out that this is what saves them all. Because he can't see... They're stuck in Valhalla, and he can't see Valhalla...
Because he's Christian.
So he just ignores it, and then the girl's like, oh, go and blow the horn to get us all out of there. Why? We're not anywhere.
Yes, but he does it anyway.
Whatever.
Also, the gods being literal children... Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
That was perfect.
They certainly behave that way.
Yeah. Yeah, there were so many things of that in that movie that were really on point, and then so many things were like, huh.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of
A lot of it.
happening. Although I do like John Cleese's character, whose name I can't remember.
Oh,
except
he
it
was
ends
so
in the black.
perfect.
He was so perfect.
Flay them alive.
Yeah, just... And he talks about, like, the first guy who's beheaded.
Yes.
He talks about it in such a reasonable, like, manner. He's like, I'm sorry I don't have the money, I'm very poor. He's like, yes, but other people are counting on that money. Like, other people need to be paid, so you have to pay your share. Behead him. Just like...
And the tone he has, it's so perfect. It's very, like, nonchalant and very, like,
yeah.
well, you know, it's just the way that it worked. Behead him. Oh, garrot this one.
Yeah, flay those two alive. And then when he goes behead the other one, he's like, thank you, my lord, thank you very much, because it's the faster death.
Like,
right? You're welcome. John Cleese was very good in this role.
oh, he was so perfect. I mean, I'm hard-pressed to find anything John Cleese is bad at, but yeah.
No, I agree. I liked the movie, but also, I liked the movie, but I also feel ambivalent about it. Is that even possible?
Yeah, but that's it. There were good bits. But overall, it didn't really hold
It didn't land
together.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Pun intended, boat. Yeah, it was like a bunch of skits, and the individual skits themselves worked really well if taken...
Yeah, exactly. But the
But the
thread
through line,
holding them
yeah.
together was kind of like...
Was fraying.
It kind of works.
So.
Yeah. And then the ending was very underwhelming.
Well, it's... So, I don't think the Monty Python crew know how to do endings all that well.
No, I mean, Holy Grail.
I mean, that I kind of understand because they just ran out of money. So they're like, this is how it's gonna end.
But did they?
But did they? But I'm not sure that the ending they had written was any better than that particular ending, or the ending of Erik the Viking.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I thought that the sinking of the ship after the dragon attack was hilarious.
Oh, it was great.
Because they're sinking. Oh, and then the offer to baptize them while they're sinking was so funny.
Well, how's it go then? Well, I submerge you in water.
water.
Ah, son of...
Because they're sinking. Oh my god. It made me giggle quietly because it was midnight and I wanted to not wake my flatmate. And little
that Christian priest was just the best.
little spots like that were very bright and very funny. I'm not sure that they connected very well.
Yeah.
Also, I liked the character of Erik. How he was actually very clever.
Yeah.
Even if not especially clever. Right?
Because he was clever in certain ways.
Yeah, so he was tricksy. So going into like the fog to lose what's his face? John Cleese's character, the Black. Somebody the Black.
Yeah.
His crew, because they just kept right straight past while Eric's crew had stopped and stayed silent. Clever. Good. Well done. And then his attempt to use the invisibility tea towel.
That was great.
Right?
But
Which
if it only seems to work on my father.
It worked on the Christian guy.
It did.
It worked on the preacher and no one else.
That was the one thing the Christian guy actually saw.
Where is he? He's right there. Where? How did you do that? And then he takes off and oh, there you are. See, as an individual skit, hilarious.
But also that whole battle was really fun.
Oh,
with
yeah.
like the dread guys going like, well, we don't know how to fight. Everybody's always been too scared of how we look.
Just for reference, for those who haven't seen the movie, it's a bunch of guys in black armor, black robes with horses' skulls. Oh. And then Erik just dancing around like he thinks nobody can see him. He thinks he's invisible. He thinks he's invisible, but everybody except for the preacher can see him. And then he goes up
But
to...
they're so shocked that he's actually attacking them that they're actually acting like he's invisible because they just don't know what to do.
Right? And then in that scene when he goes up to John Cleese's character, takes off the now you see me? Now you don't. And then he's like, what? It was such a good scene.
It really was. That's it. There's brilliant scenes in that movie.
Yes. That is one of the standouts. And then when Atlantis sank, another one of the standouts. Although they didn't call it Atlantis. What did they call it?
I can't remember what they called it, but it was clearly Atlantis.
Oh yeah, it was very much Atlantis. I enjoyed their arrival when they see the woman and then realize that she doesn't have any weapons and they're utterly confused.
Scared. They're
Yeah,
scared
they're
of her.
scared.
She doesn't have any weapons.
What kind of place is this?
I know.
The premise is great.
Yeah, it's a good premise.
It's a good premise. So Erik the Viking, who has a bit of a conscience compared to his other Vikings, I guess, decides, after visiting a seer woman by the name of Freya, to get the Horn of Resounding so that he can cross the Rainbow Bridge to wake up the gods, who will chase away Fenrir and return the sun.
Indeed.
Ending Ragnarok. Excellent premise and a good opportunity for all kinds of shenanigans.
Indeed.
Which they sort of worked, but also didn't. I don't know how else to put it.
It's, yeah. It feels a lot like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where you have like a bunch of scenes kind of strung together by a loose narrative thread.
Yes. I agree. Of course it had that feel. John Cleese and Terry Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Erik the Viking.
Hello.
Although this wasn't true for everybody in the village, I appreciated that Erik the Viking had an American accent.
Yeah.
Because, if you've heard Scandinavian people speak English, other than some weird vowel sounds and a bit of a lilt, they do sound quite American. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Scandinavia. But, like, the hard R rather than...
Mm-hmm.
Well, linguistically, there's evidence that 15th to 16th century British sounded more American.
Yes. That is true. I was going to mention that as well. Thanks, Peanut Gallery, for stealing my thunder.
Sorry. I'm just sour that they used the wrong name.
Oh, Erik with a K instead of a C?
Yeah.
Nah. Well.
Indeed. Sorry, I'm saying
Once again,
this now
Tilk.
on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
They called me Tilk in the break. So now it's only the
For
only
use
thing I
of Indeed.
Where is my Sharpie?
say. No. I have places to be after this.
God. Alright, I don't know what else to say about this movie, honestly.
It is a bit hard because it's so, like, it's not like a single real narrative thing. Like, it's a collection of bits, and I think we've circled around all the bits we really liked.
Mm-hmm. Not a euphemism, and stop it!
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to. Just that look to camera was quite enough. Dear God. This video is going to be taken down, struck down by YouTube's new policies.
We're very decent.
We are so decent, we're indecent.
Get out. Alright.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this movie so much because I did laugh aloud a lot.
I think the first scene is really a good reflection about what I felt for this entire movie, because the first scene, you get in and you're like this, oh really, this movie's gonna start on a rape scene? Mm-hmm. And then he doesn't go through with the rape, and they make some really good points while discussing, and I'm like, oh okay, this is this could get better. And then it goes straight back to like, okay, well,
rape and pillage
and accidental murder, and Yeah, it sums up pretty much how I feel. Like, oh, now we're getting in it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there were individual bits that were just really funny, like the tea towel and how blind her father was with him right in the room. That was funny. Him climbing the wall instead of running up the stairs.
Why didn't you just take the stairs?
Why didn't you just take the stairs? That was funny.
Yeah.
The sinking of Atlantis was hilarious.
It was
Thousands died.
Thousands died. It's not happening.
It's not happening. You're not seeing this.
And the whole, like, circular thinking that leads to that whole it's not happening. Like, no, listen to me. Would I lie to you? I am the voice of authority that has been faithful to you all these years. We are not sinking. And they're already, like, knee-deep in water by that point.
Mm-hmm. And then him refusing rescue.
Oh, yes. It's okay. Nothing is happening.
Yeah.
We're fine.
My dear, I think I have a bit more experience in these matters than you do.
Respectfully, Father, I don't think you do.
I do like how, as is often the case in comedies like this, the woman whose name I can't remember, from Atlantis, turns out to be the smartest of the lot.
Of course.
Like, she's the one who gets the boat who rescues Erik and his friends, his remaining friends. She's the one who tells the Christian preacher to go back to the boat and blow the horn the final time to get everybody home again.
Yeah.
Although, I very much appreciate how at the end of the movie, they're back in the snowy village, she's still in her Atlantean get-up. Her toes must have frozen off. Like,
oh my gosh. Seriously.
It's all ice and she's in this tiny little dress with no shoes on. Oh! Hairstyles! The hairstyles were so 80s.
Yes, they were.
Oh, it made my heart happy. Not because it looked good, but because it was so 80s. All the fake perms and then the weird layers with this tiny layer on top that's all permed.
Yeah. The 80s mullets.
The 80s mullets, yeah. Although, Tim Robbins wasn't that bad.
No.
He actually could have passed for...
Viking.
Like, Viking.
Yeah. Yeah, his
the
hair
way
was
he wore his hair.
alright, yeah.
Oh, and the blacksmith. That's the other thing I really like. The very pretty blacksmith.
The very pretty blacksmith who all the ladies are like, oh no, you can't
go on
this
go.
adventure.
Nobody else can do the things that you do for us.
And then this one girl's like, wait, I can fix our pans and, like, keep our knives sharp. And they're like, shut up.
That's not what we meant. I liked that he was, well, I didn't like, so the trope of the beautiful person who is also dumb as a post.
Yeah.
Not a fan of it, but I do
But then
like...
he turned out to actually have principles.
Yeah, to have a decent heart.
Yeah.
And it was his principles, he was misguided based on his principles, right? Like
exactly.
The Armorer's Guild or whatever it was.
So it wasn't that he was really dumb, it's just that he was poorly counseled. And maybe he had a blind spot for that person.
Maybe. But that's still pretty stupid.
I mean, none of them were terribly intelligent.
Erik was sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. The Atlantean woman was.
Yeah. Final thoughts and star ratings?
I guess we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Final thoughts is I'm still really confused about this movie.
I'm still not sure if I like it or not.
Yeah. Like, there are bits that made me laugh out loud that I will remember very fondly.
Yep.
But the movie as a whole was... I don't know. I don't even know what star rating to give it. So I'm going to sort of sit down the middle and give it a 2.5.
That's exactly what I was going to do. I was like, okay, let's give it half rating.
Yeah, exactly. Straight down the middle because I'm still not sure. 2.5 all around.
2.5.
Next movie.
Another Miyazaki?
It probably.
That would be funny. Spaceballs!
Spaceballs! That's the one I saw when I put them all in. Aw, Spaceballs.
Yay. Spaceballs.
Yogurt. I hate yogurt. Okay, so one of the movies coming up that we will be discussing on this panel is Spaceballs. If you have any thoughts about Erik the Viking, do leave them down in the comments below. This should be interesting for folks who have seen it. I sometimes lurk, so I may or may not reply. I haven't decided yet. Thanks very much, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe or follow us on Twitch. Bye!
Bye.